Hi, my name is Jasmin and I will discuss about the subject of changing your gender and your name on your paper when you're a trans person.
Hello, my name is Oliver and I'm a trans guy who make videos about LGBTQIA+ people where they get to talk about anything that they want that somehow relates to them being queer. I'm currently traveling around Europe by train, and in Marseille, France, I met up with Jasma.
Hi, my name is Jasmin. I'm 21 years old and I live in Marseille. My experience with being queer and basically being trans, my journey was when I was young, and basically I knew I was trans when I was 13 years old. And basically at first I came out to my friends as a lesbian, and I got like this relationship with a girl and I wasn't really comfortable with it. And at like maybe 15 years old I discovered that yeah, I can like boys too, and it's okay if I want to be a man and identify as such. So basically I came out to my family. It was kind of difficult at first because I came from a rural part of France where it isn't really accepted. So basically after my high school graduation I moved over here so I can basically transition and be finally in peace with me, and I kind of cut ties with my family for quite a bit of time.
Now his family is more supportive and they are back in touch.
Right now they accept it, but it was a long journey because during this time I had to do every stuff by myself, including like getting appointment with like doctors for like surgeries and also administration, which is kind of complicated in France, not gonna lie. It's kind of the huge part that is accessible right now, like from now on, but wasn't at the time. It was kind of difficult.
So Jasmin has chosen to talk about how to change your legal name and gender in France because he wants to help other people navigate through this complicated process.
When I came to Marseille, I want to change my name, and this was the first step through my trans journey after getting like testosterone. Basically in France, if you want to get your name changed, you can go to basically the house town, like the townhouse, you know, and basically you have to submit paper of like 4 or 5 pages saying that yes, I'm trans, this is the proof, my friend wrote letters, and you send it to them. And basically after like 3 months, if they want and they decide that yeah, you are trans, it's okay, you can get your name changed. This is the first step. After I did this, I need to do the other stuff, which is the sex changes on your paper, and this is really more complicated because you have to submit like a really long files, and this time it goes to a judge. Because I did it during COVID, I didn't have to go there like in person, but this was kind of an exception because basically you have to go there and there is like 3 people who will basically judge you. You are not like in the building, like the real building. It's not like a trial, but you are in an office, a small office. And basically they will tell you, okay, you passed, you're legit, you're valid, you're not performing or doing some stuff. But it's really arbitrary to do that because if you don't have a passing or some stuff, they can like refuse it, and they don't give you any reason for that. And in Marseille it's really okay. Like I don't know any person that didn't work actually, but like in Versailles, close to Paris, that happened twice. I read it online, you know, and yeah, that was kind of complicated because it's really arbitrary, as I said, and you don't really know how it works, how you can appeal and do that stuff. So that can be really difficult, especially for like trans feminine person, because yeah, of the passing and stuff. Like yeah, kind of sucks, to be honest.
Jasmin managed to get his legal gender changed, and then follows a lot more work.
And after you get like this change done, you must redo all the papers, and that's kind of step that it's difficult. I had to redo my passport, and when I did it like again, it was really complicated because I had to give out my other passport, but like the lady was nice and she didn't ask, and I just said, I lost it, so I can keep my old passport as a souvenir.
I really like that many of us trans people have chosen our own names, and I really like hearing about the process that took place within a person to land on that specific name.
Basically, the first name I choose was Jack, and this was a name that I chose like when I was 15 years old, and basically I was just like socially I want to change, so I chose Jasma, which is a flower, and I just feel more comfortable with it. And the other names, because I got like 4 names, which is Archibald, Robert and Raphael. I let my family member choose them. Basically Robert is my grandfather's name because my dad's name is my grandmother's name.
Jasmin isn't a common name in France.
Not at all. It's a plant name, and I don't like know. Maybe I know 1 or 2 other trans men that word, but it's like mostly a trans people name. I don't know like any cisgender people who wore it, to be honest.
Jasmin wants to end the video on an encouraging message to anyone who is about to go through this process.
You can get help. You're not alone like doing this. There is like support group online, basically for people who don't have any family or any friends. If you want to get letters from like strangers, I saw posts on Twitter that people were asking, hey, can you help me write a letter so I can go to the house town like and get like the file done properly, so I can get proof, because you need proof to do the changes. I would advise people to do the name changes first, because that counts more. Plus it will like help you approve the sex gender if you want to do it on your papers, because basically that adds a lot to say that, yeah, this is my new name and it's like really mask aligned, and I have like a female letter on my card. It doesn't add up, it doesn't make sense, it doesn't help me. Basically maybe the police will control me, or maybe on the train basically they can sell that this is false papers and stuff, which doesn't add up at all. But basically I would tell people like, you're not alone, you can ask always people. There is association, you can also ask. We got like trans association in Marseille, they will help you to do this paperwork. I know there is like those evening they do, especially like it's just for paperwork, especially like they will help you through that. So yeah, you're not alone. Basically just ask help, people will help you if they're not like morons. But yeah, I think like the trans community must like help themselves. We must like stay together. It's really important, especially during those processes. Can be really difficult, especially if you're alone, as I said, but like you can reach help. Like you're not alone, even though you get ties with people, it's okay. You must like persevere and do the stuff, and after that you will just find peace with yourself and just said, okay, that's done, fine, I can focus on other stuff. I can just process and like go through in my life.
If you enjoyed watching that video, please like, comment, subscribe and share the video. I really appreciate you showing your love in that way. If you also want to support the channel financially, that's possible via Patreon, but really no pressure. See you next time!